Tonight, 6 people stabbed in New York City subway system in just 3 days, all before Mayor Eric Adams' new subway safety plan began Monday morning. The 6 victims all survived, and their attacks spanned the subway system. Crime on the subway is not new, but how has the atmosphere changed in 2022?
Well, crime on the subway is absolutely not new, and it's something that we've seen come back in big numbers.
On Friday, police say a man was slashed in the forearm on a southbound train. The suspects fled. By Saturday, at least 4 attacks, according to police, including a 45-year-old man stabbed during a 3 a.m. robbery. No arrests were made. In Brooklyn, a 20-year-old woman was punched and stabbed in the stomach. Police still searching for this suspect. And officials say a man was stabbed in the leg and arm. No arrests have been made. Further uptown, police say a 74-year-old man was stabbed after teens attempted to rob him. 2 teenagers were arrested and charged. Just 30 minutes later, at a Washington Heights station, a man was stabbed. His assailants not yet arrested. On Sunday, a 6th person was stabbed on a train right here on Canal Street. Police say the attack was unprovoked, but for many New Yorkers, this spike in crime does not go unnoticed. Do you feel safe?
Honestly, no.
Do you feel safe riding the train in New York?
At the moment, not really.
Why?
Especially like on the L line, I've been hearing a lot of like incidents, like stabbings and people pushing each other in front of the trains.
It's gotten very eerie, and I think at the beginning of the pandemic there were a lot of attacks on women, and then now it's all you hear.
And it's not just stabbings.
All of a sudden I hear like somebody got hit in the head with a almost halfway empty bottle of water, and I'm like, turn around, and my daughter, and he's screaming and crying, getting up off the floor.
On Thursday, police say this 4-year-old was punched in the head in Times Square. That suspect now facing multiple charges.
It's almost like that, and I fell on my head, and my head is hot right here.
According to the NYPD, major crimes are up 46% this year over last, with transit complaints nearing 4,000 in 2021, up 15% from the year before. In response, the subway safety plan.
We will accomplish what New Yorkers deserve, and that is a safe ride on our subway system, at the same time recognizing the very real humanitarian crisis that has been unfolding before our eyes.
The plan creates subway response and outreach teams to address homelessness and mental health, increased NYPD presence, and rules of conduct enforcement, which include no lying down or littering.
Nobody should live in the subways. Subways are not a home.
What's your reaction to people who hear about this new safety plan and say it's harmful for the houseless of New York?
Well, number one is part of this plan needs to include a long-term sustainable approach to housing. You can't just say, oh, let's get people out of the subway. Where are they going to go? That's cruel. So the fact that there's funding, that there's money, a commitment by the governor, that there's a commitment by the mayor to invest in housing, to invest in support services.
Whatever kind of outreach is being done, it needs to be backed up with permanent housing, with permanent healthcare solutions that actually address the problem, so there isn't a revolving door.
City officials say.
And so in the wake of the pandemic, you know it, we all see it, the number of homelessness of individuals have increased substantially.
I'm all for Mayor Adams. I hope it works. I want help for the homeless. At the same time, I think everyone wants to feel safe. Who doesn't want to feel safe?
Zinhle Essamuah joins us now from New York City. Zinhle, so it's interesting. You started the story there, and you asked that person outside the subway that, you know, crime is nothing new in New York City. But I think what is new is that it's gotten to this point where there's a spike, and nearly every single person you talk to, I think every person you talk to, didn't feel safe in the subway. That's a huge step back for the city of New York.
Absolutely, Tom, it is. And overall, the sentiment is uneasiness, right? I spoke with a man who said he's spent his whole life in New York, but he's never felt as unsafe as he does now. We're right now in front of Canal Street, and there was one young woman who frequents this stop. And when I told her there was a stabbing here yesterday, her eyes got wide. She says she no longer rides the train alone. The NYPD added that in addition to the cases we just covered, a woman was hit with a steel metal pipe earlier today. The suspect in that case remained on the train, and I think that speaks to the overall anxiety that so many people have about the fact that these suspects often are not being arrested. So while the safety subway plan is a first step, Tom, it's not necessarily enough in the eyes of many New Yorkers.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.